Hello everybody and welcome to Expert Channel TV. You are watching Health Talks with Dr. Shivani Sood and myself, Melanie Falby. And today we're bringing you another fascinating and really interesting topic, which is anxiety and how Ayurveda can really help you cope with it. So hello, Dr. Shivani.
Hello, Melanie. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm excited about this topic.
Yes, I think it's like a really exciting topic when we talk about anxiety because it has a similar energy like excitement, but it's like a little bit excitement too much and a little bit getting fused, you know. So it's really nice to be on this chat show talking about health week after week and really helping people with various topics.
Absolutely.
And I realized that many even couldn't be knowing what is Ayurveda in our, chat shows.
Very true, because we have new viewers every week, so maybe it would be a good idea to even tell them what it is.
Exactly, because we are always talking about Ayurveda, and other day somebody messaged me like, what is Ayurveda? Why are you always talking about it? It's so, Ayurveda is the science from India, and it's like 5000 BC, the development of it had started, and it really sees every human being as a unique person and helps to understand their problems, challenges, and topics under various different limelights and incorporating different advices like nutrition, psychology, and of course we have the great Ayurvedic medicine. But Ayurveda take care that you're not just treating the symptoms, but the root cause of the disease, and you're able to change your lifestyle and your way of thinking. And so I am an Ayurvedic doctor, and also I have various other degrees in nutrition and in psychology, which I use to help people with problems. But Ayurvedic knowledge is it's a vast knowledge of various topics. About every topic you could go deeper and learn more.
Absolutely.
But sometimes it could be like a little difficult to get it because it's 5000 BC and the old knowledge.
Yes, but that's the richness of it, and that's what we're learning thanks to you week after week, how very powerful and how it treats the human body, mind, and soul as a whole. It really goes deep into the core, so you can actually make the lifestyle changes that will avoid future problems.
Exactly. And the thing with the modern medicine is nobody is asking this question, why are you sick? Because nobody is interested in this information. There are so many sick people and all need help, So normally outside a OPD, and I just recently did a service, if you go to see a regular doctor, you just spend 10-15 minutes out there, which is like your disease is really troubling you. So you're there at that doorstep, but at that doorstep, there's so many sick people.
Yes, true. True. Yeah, it's not as personalized. It's just, okay, you have this symptom, take this. That's it.
Exactly. Yes. And so people who suffer from anxiety sometimes even look like fake sick people, like they're making it up, they're not really sick. Oh, only the ones who really had difficulty with heart problems look like the real serious one. But nobody even acknowledges these small symptoms, which is really affecting our everyday life.
Of course. Right. And anxiety or like feeling anxious, we all experience it in our lives at some point.
Yes. We can ask the viewers, like, which of you have experienced anxiety? Just raise your hand up, and we all are raising our hand up because we all have experienced it. It's normal to be nervous, but if you're constantly getting nervous and it's affecting your health, because I would like to ask you a question: what happens to you when you feel anxious?
Right. So when I'm anxious, I tend to feel, to be honest, it's not a nice feeling at all, because you feel like your heart's racing. You have this cold sweat. In my case, it's usually cold sweat. And you just feel so lost, I would say. Like you don't know where to go. You're just stuck there. You know, you have to do something to get out of that situation, and you're not able to think straight. So it's not a nice feeling. And I remember, because my first business, design related business, was a wedding design business. And weddings are the most stressful thing ever. I mean, you have one day to get everything ready, absolutely everything, and there's no second chance. I mean, you need to make that day the best day ever for your clients, and there's, you know, you cannot get anything wrong. And I remember at some point I was working with a team, and we all had these anxious moments. The good thing is that the rest of the team would be able to just take over, or just say, okay, just stay there, get out of that situation, and then come back again. But yeah, it's not a nice feeling at all.
See, so there are 2 points I would like to tell you about it. You told the problem and you told the solution, because while you were describing your symptoms about coldness and shivering and your heart rate increasing, it showed that your body was having a certain cold feeling through the stress hormones you were producing in your mind. So whenever you're anxious, you have to go for something warm, because the vagus nerve goes from the stomach to the brain. And when you pour warm stuff inside, there's a feeling of comfort. Similarly, like we have this comfort with mashed potatoes and warm porridge and so on, because they just comfort our stomach. So instead of running around with the mind, it's nice to kind of come to the body and concentrate on warming up your stomach. And the second thing, you told the solution. You see, you told that, there were other people around. So connection helps anxiety.
Right.
Because you're like, we will save the show rather than I will save the show. So your pressure getting less makes you less anxious.
Right.
Because an anxious phase definitely does produce a lot of lack of nutrients inside your body. So if you're going through anxious phase, let's say your daughter's going for exam, or you're going through a breakup, you should make sure that you have enough level of nutrients in your body. And the easiest one being like make a soup or a broth. And so everyone knows the grandmother's recipe to make a broth. So you just take in carrots and onions and herbs and some vegetables and boil it till all the extract comes out. Have this clear liquid and drink it all through this day when you feel anxious. It's going to make a tremendous difference, because food and the mind are so connected, and that's Ayurveda. Everything in the world is connected.
Right. Of course it is. It just makes sense. And that's such an easy solution. And
it is.
Yes, enjoyable. Who doesn't
it is.
Broth?
It is. And the second biggest mistake you can do is like trying to solve your anxiety while you're having anxiety.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because, if somebody is sick, does he go to work? No, he goes on holiday. So if somebody is anxious, he doesn't need to sit and solve why he's anxious in that moment. So you're in your stress area in the brain, and you're kind of going round and round with no solutions to any of the anxiety you're facing. So first thing is like, just get out of the anxiety or this weird mood, and relax, connect, because connection really helps. If you don't want to, if you don't need to connect with people for sharing your stress, then you can connect with your loved ones, so that you have this feeling it's going to be okay.
Oh, okay.
Because it's going to be okay.
When you're feeling anxious, you cannot think straight.
You can't.
It's impossible. You try to think, ideas are just not coming. So
they are not coming.
First, get out of the situation, and then try to.
Yeah. In neuro-linguistic programming, we call this area as a DMN area, which is like a diminished network area in our brain. Whenever we are in any kind of weird mood, we are just taking a motorcycle and going round and round in that. And solutions are on the other side of the brain.
Okay. I love that example.
So the thing is like, then the second thing comes like, nothing is happening here. Go to the stomach and feed yourself with crap, So it's like whatever, butter, pizza, whatever. And because you see the vagus nerve get pressure, and the combination of fat, sugar, and salty is really like, it releases bombs of happiness in your brain.
Oh,
So you
wow.
do that, and you don't give yourself the nutrient, but you give yourself the food and the fat to relax. So why not prepare for anxiety or anxious period with having a broth prepared to kind of give you strength through all of it? Because you know it's coming, you know it's going to be a busy day or whatever. So prepare well and it's going to be better.
That's a great solution. See, I never even heard about that. Never. See,
Yes.
everybody, you need to watch this show. We are learning so much every single week. I'm just amazed.
Yes. And once then this is sorted out, you come out of that, then you have to understand why you are anxious. So you might be anxious because of two reasons. Either you are putting, you know, you're lacking the talent to do something, and you're putting a lot of pressure, you know, like, you know, if I would put somebody who doesn't know technology in front of my computer and say like, go do a Facebook live, but if he doesn't know how, and I'm like, you have to do it. So the capabilities are missing, you know.
Right.
When you miss capability, everything is a struggle. So if in your job you're missing capabilities, if you're not aligned with your strength, you're missing capabilities, you need to find them so you can feel more relaxed about your everyday.
Yes, very true.
Make a routine that really helps. Get up an hour before so that you're not rushing into everything. And then there are some really ambitious people who try to put too much on their plate, you know. They have to write down all the list and strike down 30-40% so that they can be less, because they have to write it, you know. Melanie, it's a type. It's called as a Pitta type, a fire type, who is like, no, end of 10 hours, I need to achieve all of this. But you're not that type. I've seen you in the show.
Just by listening to you, I'm not that type.
You're not that type, but people are that type. So they need to kind of, you know, and they see themselves as a warrior who needs to go and fight every battle and come out as a winner.
Right.
But then we know even someone who has been once to a war is anxious for the rest of his life.
True. Yes.
So most of the kapha type, which is the earth and water type, they are never anxious. They're like, whatever will happen, you know. So they kind of take life as it is. So they suffer less from anxiety. But the air type and the fire types suffer a lot from anxiety. But more complicated anxious persons are those in which whom emotions and logic are fighting. So they're not able to make a decision. They're not moving forward. You know, it's like being in a marsh. Brain says something, heart says something, and you're like kind of stuck.
Right. Okay. And they don't even realize they're doing that.
They don't realize. But, you know, it's really difficult to be stuck in the same situation all the time.
Yeah. It must be very tiring.
It is.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, once in Ayurveda you describe anxiety, you have nutritional solutions, you have herbal solutions, but you also have a type identification. That means that we're not putting all the anxious person like in one box. We are kind of having a different way of seeing them. And everything is curable once you work with all the tools of healing, which is nutrition, psychology, understanding your disease, understanding your life, setting right goals for your health. So in Ayurveda, everything is curable, but you have to take the responsibility, not your doctor.
Exactly. And you need to find that personalized help that's going to help you, as you always say. Don't just follow some generic advice, because it's not going to help you.
Yes. Exactly. For the ones who are really interested in this topic, I have a series of 5-day video series on how to help anxiety, worry, and fear. If they just type in hi or something, we can send them the link to download it.
Oh, of course, yes. We will drop it in the comments.
Yes, let's drop it in the comments.
Yes.
So they can have like more detail, because we know our show is short and we cannot talk about all the topics, but most of the people who are coming to the clinic in my practice are having this common symptoms about anxiety, worry, fear. They're just transforming energies. And so I made a video series to help them out, because that's what we experts are for. We are there to help people and to show them that, the disease is okay. They are very precious.
Mm-hmm.
They are important. They are lovable. And do not let any disease define you. You're beyond the definition of any disease, You can heal all. Just get the will to kind of take action.
Right. Exactly. Just be aware that you need the help and find the right help. Oh, so that sounds really interesting. We're going to link to that, because our viewers are going to really benefit from that. Because nobody is free from anxiety. Nobody.
Nobody is. And don't let it be your definition,
Mm-hmm.
You're not making anybody benefit from being anxious.
Exactly.
Especially the motherly type. They're really anxious for their kids because they think like they're being better mothers. No, you are not. You have to take action to be a better mother, which is to be calm. But, it's like your mom who waits for you to go home, and then if you don't message, she has all these messages in the head. So it's like about worrying, but it's not, anxiety is not worrying for people. It's like, drinking a slow poison to destroy your own health. So recognize your anxiety and accept it, talk to it, and treat it.
Right. That's key. Treat it.
Do not end up in the doorsteps of a medical practitioner asking for help, for pills, because what you seek is what you will get, So if you go there, then you're going to get the pills.
Exactly. And those pills will just get rid of the symptoms, but next time you will be going and doing all the same thing again.
Then depression will come up, then fear will come up, because you have to know how to handle this in everyday life. It is normal part of living that we have all these emotions, and they're coming to us to kind of teach us about taking care of ourselves rather than shooing it away, So
yes, I love it.
That was a great talk, Melanie. I really enjoyed it.
It was fantastic. I really enjoyed this, as every week. I am learning so much from Ayurveda, from your wisdom. And we will link to that in the comments. And make sure you drop your comments for Dr. Shivani Sood. She will be answering them on future shows. So make the most of this show.
Suffering from any anxiety issues, and you've been taking some herbs, or if you've been doing some practice which is not working for you, it's always interesting for me to see why it's not working for you, So you can drop in the comments, and we're here to help you out. Thank you very much for listening to us today.
Exactly.
Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you for joining me. And we will see everybody next Wednesday.
See you next Wednesday. Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye.